Good evening, everybody. Ashlan is here with the Southern TV, and today we are starting a new show with the name of Community Voice. And the purpose of this show is to discuss about the local issues, and we will ask like our friend and if somebody else to, to join us and discuss the local issues. And today we select the topic of toppling or tear downing the statue is not going to end the race issue. And I'm very happy to see that Other Khan joined me, and I'm going to welcome to Other Khan. Other Khan, welcome to the Community Voice. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
And I was just describing that the Southern TV has started a new show with the name of Community Voice. And the purpose of this show is to discuss the local issues, and we will ask like other people to give their input in the future. But today is just you and me. We're going to talk about the toppling or tear down the statues is not going to the is not going to end the race issue. So I want to ask Azhar Khan, what is your take on toppling of the statue or beheading the Mary Virgin and Virgin Mary and those kind of things? How I know that people are angry and people are frustrated. There's no question about that. But are those things going to help to end the race issue, or it might uh, offend some people or maybe a lot of people when you try to erase the history or you try to do bad things to the religious symbols? What is your opinion on that one?
First of all, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Shadawan and Sathram Television, to start a new program about the community voice. And this is a very important topic. And a lot of people would like to hear our point of view. And definitely we take our community point of view on this. As community activist, I first talk about the Virgin Mary statue with the decapitation of the statue of the Virgin Mary. I'm very blessed that I've been on many holy places, including Jerusalem, including Jordan, Egypt, and Middle East, almost every country. And if you go in Jerusalem and you see the respect, rather it's Muslim community or rather it's Christian or Jews, we all have to respect, especially the statue of Virgin Mary. We know that this incident happened after the incident of the statue of Canada's first Prime Minister, which was toppled. But it is, in my point of view, tolerance and humanity and respect is always, because this is very religious, very close to one of very important religion. People pray, people relate, people respect. So frustration will be understandable after we going through the COVID-19 situation. But in the same time, we as a community respect each other and keep the peace. That is my take on that subject.
Thank you very much. And I will add that Virgin Mary is like also respectful for us to being a Muslim. We have so much respect for Virgin Mary. It's like part of our religion too. We have to believe Virgin Mary, otherwise we can't be like Muslim.
Absolutely. And it is in the Quran, it is in the Bible, it is in the other holy books. and we have a huge respect, like all other prophets and prophets, Virgin Mary have a very highly respect. And you are absolutely right. We not a true Muslim if we not provide the right respect.
That's true. And I'm gonna hear like a toppling of the statues. I found this pretty interesting article from BET founder, which is Black Entertainment TV, and Robert Johnson. And he said that like toppling of the statues are doing those kind of things, it won't close the wealth gap between white and black people. He said that black people or Black Lives Matter, they should form a political party, and they come through the political process, and that's how a democratic country works. You come through democracy, you raise your voice, you get people around you who will support your idea or who will support your vision, and then you get the vote, and then you go to the legislature in the assembly, and then and that's when your voice become our people's voice, and then people will listen to you, and then everybody will support you. But when we see like okay, I'm not saying like it's like everybody's like that. It's only few people who have done that, that they topple the statue or they did some looting or something like that. But in that process, everybody gets the blame. So I've read like a few articles in which there was like this suggestion was given that Black Lives Matter should start a political party here, like in the America, in Canada also, and they come through the political process, and that's the process. Everybody appreciate that. Doing bad thing is not gonna make anybody happy. And if you like block the road or if you do some other stuff, it bothers people, and then sometimes you lose sympathy. So what do you say, like, is you think that's a good idea to become involved in the political process?
It is always a good idea to be go through with the political process gradually and raise your voice or fight for your rights in a decent manner. But before we go to this debate, I think I want to just put some light on the statue, basically, for which is first Prime Minister of Canada, John A. Macdonald. His statue located in the square in Montreal, downtown. Although it was anti-racism, but we all have to know that his picture on the $10 bill in Canada, it's around 153 years ago. Mr. Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister, also condemned that vandalism, destruction, or damage to any public or private property, because you have to look this point of view that this is a heritage also. Yes, you have your opinion about him that his uh, his past, and there is a saying that anniversary of 1885. This also happened. Basically, it's previously happened in 1992 on the anniversary of 1885 hanging of Louis Riel. an indigenous who was indigenous later accused of the high treason by him. So there is a history that it happened, but now I think the Premier Francis want to restore and topple with the current toppled statue. Right now, it's in the warehouse of downtown in Montreal. There are two opinions, definitely. One who is going for about his past, about the native leaders, what he did. But in the same time, vandalism and destruction and anger can trigger more violence in the community. We have to raise our voice with the peaceful process, with the election that a statue should be there or not. But take the law in the hand, and vandalism can trigger somebody's emotions because it's a history that he is our first prime minister. And a lot of people respect, a lot of people have concerns. But as a community activist, I always go towards the peaceful process to raise your voice, to do the protest in a decent way. Because if you look the outside community outside of Canada, how they look this incident, will it trigger to more violence? Or but if we go through with the decent way, that's I think the best way, because it was there since 153 years, and have the respect and all things already about it.
Thank you. Yes, I will add on that one that I read somewhere that no nobody is perfect.
Yes.
So Mr. John McDonald may not be the perfect man. He might have done things which everybody not agreed, but at the end of the day, he did help to create Canada. He was the first prime minister of Canada, and that's our history. Okay, so now if we don't agree with him, we should start doing better things. We should start doing things which we all inclusive, or we get together, because they get this. They sort of gave us like a platform on which we can work. So even if their past was not which with which everybody does not agree, but they gave us a country to work on, and now we have a medium, we have the resources, we have the education, we have the awareness that we can do better things instead of going back and erasing the history. Okay, when I say erasing the history, I also mean that uh, in and like in few months ago there was like a trend that okay, we don't want to have this symbol because that shows you know the black people like in not a good way. We don't want to have this thing because that shows like black people are being oppressed. Okay, that's fine, but at the same time, if you're gonna exclude everybody because that shows like the oppression, and then let's say after 10 years there's no mention of those symbols or those characters, and then everybody gonna say that, oh, you know what, we're not giving chance. Like for example, in the TV or in the movies, people, a lot of work has been done in which we see like more like colored people, and if we start raising them that okay, they were like for example, I know like in the past like when they showed like the Indian people, and in a movie they have like a pretty like stereotype, you know, with the shaking head and this and that. But now you see like the Indian people, Indian actor, I mean, they're like in the Hollywood in good characters. So so you have to start somewhere. And now I think the colored people are they had a pretty good roles in a TV and in the movies, and and that all goes like to the people who start this process. Like, so you have to start somewhere. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
I think I have to mention, describe this one about darkness cannot drive darkness, only light can. Hate cannot drive hate, only love can, said by Martin Luther King Jr., which is the biggest founder for the black community voice. So that is very important that yes, whatever happened in past, whatever his background, but we have to find out the solution. We not fight hate with the hate, darkness with the darkness, light, respect. This is one. And I like even the Quebec Premier Francois Log said he wanted to restore the Tropple statue, which, and he's an elected premier, right? We have to remember that, which has been restored in a warehouse downtown. Whatever one might think of John A. MacDonald, our first prime minister, destroying a monument in this way is unacceptable. Mr. Premier said, we must fight racism, which is absolutely right. We have to fight racism, but destroying parts of our history is not solution. Whatever you like or don't like, it is a part of our history. You have good opinion, you have bad opinion, you have something, but we cannot destroy our history. And we cannot remove it from the history that we might have some concerns, and a lot of people have, but we cannot forget that he's our from and symbol. There is a also mention, it is racist monument don't deserve space. That is slogans come after that. Symbols of hate encourage the mental oppression of marginalized people. This is also coming, but we have to remember that tolerance, respect each other, presence of all community, presence of everyone, voice of everyone should be raised. Whatever in the past happened, we cannot change it. But if we look future, if we look uh, the front, we have to keep and advocate in the community as a community activist, peace, patience, and keep our history at least for our future generation.
Absolutely, to totally agree with you, Azar, that we should learn from the history, not destroy the history, not erasing the history. We should learn from the history. Okay, what happened in the past, and how we can make it better in the future for our future generation, for us as a human being, for the current generation, and that's how we should work. We learn from the history. We should work around if something we don't have to agree on everything. We have to come up with some sort of solution. We have to come. We have to work with each community. Yes, anger is there, frustration is there, and I know it's like a they've been through for centuries, but I think things are getting better.
But
Things are getting
yeah, you are absolutely right, sir. But we have to remember that as a responsible citizen, as a parent, we have to remember that a lot of youth are also looking to us. A lot of youth are watching us. We should not set an example which we regret tomorrow, that our actions monitored by many people. We have to make sure that we, there are so many animals in the zoo. One of the example is a snake. Everyone is scared, everyone don't want to go. But can we remove the snake from the zoo? No. We are keeping. Even the poison of the snake is used for the medicines. So there is, even it is a very harmful animal, very dangerous, but in the same time, his poison is used for many medicine. And it's a part of the zoo. Uh, Kids are going there, kids are watching, even it's very dangerous, but we secure it. Similarly, history, some of the part, like Genghis Khan, he cut million of people, make the towers, but still the monument is there, still the history is there. We have to learn from the history, but in the same time, whatever history is, we have to preserve and continue to show to our upcoming generation. We have to preserve, that is our responsibility. And then what lessons we take it, we have to share with our upcoming generation. Whatever we do, we always have to remember our actions and what we are leaving behind us for our upcoming generations. Sir.
Totally agree that, as you say, like Genghis Khan, yes. So that's how we remember that somebody did a bad thing. So we have to learn so it won't happen again. And how do you know that? Because you go to that era and you study what happened in those days. What were the circumstances? What was the surrounding? What was the political motive those days? So this way you can see that, okay, because it happened because of this political motive, or because it happened because of this business dealings, whatever. So then you try to and then you try to find those things in the current environment, okay, where we are going, how we are handling our current business environment, our current political environment. Are we going in the same direction as it was those days? And if we see any similarities, we should say no, okay, we have to take a different path. Because if we keep going into that path, we're going to end up in the same result what happened 100 years ago. That's how you should learn, and that's why I think we preserve our history.
I think as a general feedback, what I'm getting from youth and from community, that anyone who heard any destruction or vandalism, or especially when you use the word of decapitation of the statue of the Virgin Mary, it looks very bad. I personally feel sad because of it's her name is in the Bible and in Quran, and it's a very religious thing. People are praying, seeing her in the church, right?
Yes.
And people have very emotional touch with this subject. So I think we should stop this, specifically this one, because respect is very important for not only as a statue, but as a history, as people relate to those, especially St. Mary's statue I'm talking about, that is not, and to remove the head is nonsense. Even you see, you feel the pain and you feel it's not good, especially when your daughter and your son look those one, or youth look those one, and they look very sad because they inspire and they respect, and it's in the holy books.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And as I said before, Virgin Mary is also very respectful to us being Muslim. And I felt pretty bad also when I saw that. I said, who can do that? I mean, doing that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what kind of where you got that idea doing that kind of stuff.
And it can bring the violence also. Canada is a very peaceful country. We have different backgrounds. I see many countries, but I'm always very proud and very honored to be a Canadian citizen. And the beauty of Canada is multicultural, and all work together, all live together, all definitely we all have different opinions and point of view, and we have debates, but in the same time the peace and harmony, for the peace is the most important thing. If we look across the globe what happening, at least as a community activist, I feel it's my responsibility to raise this voice to keep the peace and harmony for us and for our future generation.
Absolutely. And thank you, Azhar Khan. And we are almost like running out of time. And I want to thank you. Thanks for your input and thanks for doing everything. And hopefully, I will catch you and some other guests next Thursday at the same time. And if you want to say any few words at the end, please.
I say thank you, Mr. Arshad and Sathang Television. This is a very, very important community channel where we continuously discuss the current affairs and share our information and take different opinions from our community. And I would like to say congratulations to Sathang Television for this fabulous, fabulous step. Media have a very vital role for the community. And I'm very honored and very privileged and very glad that you start this program, sir.
Thank you, Azhar Khan. And I want to say thank you to our viewers for joining us. And we will get their input and we'll try to make this show better. So
Absolutely.
thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. So see you next Thursday.
Thank you.